It is 8:21 in the morning.
Yes, it is. Good morning.
Good morning, Earl. Good morning, people of the world.
Good morning, Nat.
Good morning, Nat. Steve Becker wanted us to try and do a little preview of the show, so we're going to tell you guys what's coming up on UCSS in 40 minutes plus 2 hours, 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
The Browns signed D'Onta Foreman.
Nice.
Earl, you're on the panel today, so you're going to give us our thoughts in 2 hours and 38 minutes, but give people a little preview. What do you think of the D'Onta Foreman signing?
I really like it. I really, really like it. I think it's another depth signing. I think he has a strong chance to come in and compete to be the running back 2 right away. If Nick Chubb is not ready to go at the start of the season, I think he's more than serviceable to step in and be the lead back. He's been highly productive throughout his NFL career, and he doesn't have many miles on his legs. I know he did suffer an Achilles injury maybe 2-3 seasons ago. But outside of that, everywhere he's been very productive. So I like the signing.
Yeah, and another thing I didn't realize when they first signed him, because if you go through his touchdown numbers, great short yardage back.
Absolutely.
He's one of those guys that you're like, oh, he could play. And then you're like, why isn't he getting more touches? Why isn't he getting more carries? Like, why has he been on, I think it's 5 teams in 7 years now, whatever. He's bounced around the league. But when he was in Carolina, Deuce Staley was his running backs coach.
Yeah.
And Deuce Staley fought for Carolina to keep him. He was like, this guy's has a chance to be special. Because remember, they traded Christian McCaffrey, and with the backfield of Chuba Hubbard and Foreman with Sam Darnold, and they were kind of frisky for a little bit. And Staley said, I need him. I want this guy. Like, bring him back. And obviously, Carolina went in a different direction. They changed head coaches. Dave Tepper, the GM, or the owner, has made some questionable choices. I think,
to say the least,
it's fair to say they've made a couple questionable decisions over the last 2 seasons, but now he's reunited with Staley. So for at least Deuce, from the coaching standpoint, he brings a guy who he's very comfortable with. And as Nick Chubb continues to kind of rehab and come back, we don't know when we're going to see Nick Chubb. It could be week 1. It could be week 9. Like, we just don't have any real idea of that yet. So this gives the Browns another depth piece in the running back room. And he's a good short yardage guy. If nothing else, he's your Kareem Hunt until Nick Chubb's fully healthy.
Even when Nick Chubb is fully healthy,
still might be, yeah.
He can still be a Kareem Hunt. You know, I just like it. You know, it's another weapon to deploy. G is heavy on this operation stockpile. I get into it more on the show, but that's 4 running backs in this room now. Yeah,
it's a loaded room. Another thing we're going to talk about today, Bleacher Report put out their list of the best pass rushers in the entire NFL. This is not just individual players. This is the full
collective group.
Full compilation. And the Browns, we're not going to give it away.
The Browns was on the list.
Browns came pretty highly regarded by Bleacher Report, so we'll talk about Bleacher Report's rankings. Did they get it right? Did they get it wrong? Mo Hurst spilt the beans, potentially. May have. He claims, and Mo, we love you, man. Come on the show whenever you want. This chair, give me a 2-shot. This chair, or 3-shot. This is Mo's chair.
Mo,
no one sits in this chair until we get Mo Hurst in the studio.
Mo, open invite
whatever
for you.
You want.
I'm tagging you in this.
So Mo said the Browns are going to open the season in Brazil. Then that blew up on Twitter, and he said, I read Peter King's article. I thought that was fact. I didn't realize it was just a report. Mo, hey, we all get got. Happens to the best of us. I've done it. Earl's done it. When you come in, we can talk about all the time. We'll do a top 5 list of the top 5 times we got by fake tweets in the group chat. And then it turned into a conspiracy theory that somehow sending the Browns to Brazil is the NFL's way of punishing Cleveland Browns. Earl, do you buy that?
No, not at all. I think it will be a cool move. I think this is a new experiment with the NFL, and why not be one of the first to do it, right? I think it's a matchup that makes sense when you read all the tea leaves and you read all the articles that's been out there over the last several months about this possible matchup coming into place. I tell you one thing, if Steve Becker and Adam Ostro decide to send us to Brazil, I got to make sure I'm ready. Yeah. So that expedited passport is a real thing.
Start saving your money now.
For sure. So
we're going to talk about whether or not you buy into this conspiracy theory that the NFL is trying to sabotage the Browns, and for the sake of just having some fun, if that were to be the reality, what does the rest of their early schedule slate look like? So we're going to have some fun with that. I know Bull doesn't buy conspiracy theories. I personally don't believe in this particular one. But it's a random Wednesday, Thursday. I'm so tired, man. I don't even know.
I believe in some, yeah. So I kind of
some conspiracy. I'm just saying the NFL to screw over the Browns. Hey, let's send it to Brazil for a primetime Week 1 game. I don't get how
here's the thing: the Browns are not the only team going.
Yeah, Philly's doing it too.
Yeah, so
and Philly's losing a home game.
Yeah,
for that, by the way.
So it's not like the Browns is going to play the Browns.
So we'll talk about that. The Cavs played the Heat last night. Terry Rozier, Cleveland's own. Every time he comes back to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, man, that dude puts on a show. He hit a couple daggers down the stretch. The Cavs' offense down the stretch left a lot to be desired, Earl. Two things real quick I just noticed. One, Rozier's a hell of a player. Or three, sorry. Rozier's incredible down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
You got a dude who can make tough shots like that. Sometimes you got to tip your cap. Wasn't even bad defense. He made some incredible shots. Jarrett Allen was really, really good last night. And he's turned into a player I never foresaw coming. We knew he could play, but there are games where they need him to step up big.
And he does.
Yes, and listen, if you want to tell me none of it matters to the playoffs, I'm not even going to tell you you're wrong. But he stepped up in ways this season when they needed him most that I didn't think he was capable of. 25 and 20 last night, without Donovan, without Mobley, without Strus, without Dean Wade. He played great. But most importantly, I think my big takeaway from the game was they had Karis LeVert being their lead playmaker and Darius off the ball, which is the role he plays when Donovan Mitchell's on the court. So maybe this is JB saying, all right, we can't get all our guys back to play together, but let's try to get you into your role and as comfortable in that role as humanly possible from when everyone else does return from injury.
I think it's very important to get that dude going. I think it's very important to get his confidence going, to get some consistency in him. And I think, honestly, he's probably better off the ball for the simple fact, Donovan Mitchell is not a natural point guard, but when he's the on-ball guard, it seems like the offense is more fluid.
Yeah.
I think I told you maybe 2 games ago that I have been paying attention, and it seemed to be the case when Karis LeVert is out there and he's on ball. The offense just seems to be a little bit more fluid. When Darius is on ball, it seemed like it's more about, Darius, maybe some last-second passes or a poor shot at the end of the shot clock. I think that you want to get him rolling offensively. If he's on, he's on. We all know he can shoot. It's just about getting him going consistently. And I think getting him off the ball can help him in that. So, JB got to try something.
And then this is going to be, we're going to hit this about 12:30 today, give or take time-wise. But this is really the second most important topic in the show today.
This has been on your heart because you've talked about this a lot.
I mentioned this yesterday. Well,
I can just tell, I know you. It's on your heart. It's something that you're passionate about, and you should be.
And it's funny because we're sponsored by FanDuel.
Yeah.
And I enjoy betting on sports. I think it's fun. I do think the NBA, which is now integrating, it can connect your FanDuel account to your League Pass account.
Mm-hmm.
So you could actually be watching an NBA game and see your prop bets on the bottom of the screen, and it tracks your prop bets. Tyrese Halliburton said, so today's Thursday, so that must have been Tuesday night, that he feels more like a prop than a person to a lot of fans because they just see him as someone who could win or lose them money on DraftKings or FanDuel, whatever sportsbook you're betting with. Then last night, someone asked JB, Jackson from right down Euclid, great question from Jackson, asked JB, hey, your thoughts on this? Have you realized any of this in the locker room? He goes, we've never really had a situation where we've specifically spoken about it, but personally, someone in the last 2 years, and he didn't mention how many people, but he said people have gotten my phone number, called the house, threatened me and my kids about a lost bet or why they were angry, and nothing's ever fully come of it. And the police were able to track those people down, by the way, and they have been dealt with in their own right. But he said it has crossed the line. And I know you mentioned something you saw on Twitter this morning about.
Yeah.
I'll let you.
I kind of made a joke of it, but I was serious at the same time. I seen something online about supposedly in Louisiana, somebody had their winnings sitting in their FanDuel account, and the state of Louisiana child support law enforcement pulled those winnings for his back child support, and rightfully so. Yeah. They shout out to FanDuel for actually doing that because, one, you gambling instead of taking care of your kids, that's crazy. But you out here winning money and you're not breaking your kids off, that's even more insane.
100%.
I think that, man, people exhibit bum-ass behavior on a regular basis for absolutely no reason. You hear me speak all the time to the point that I think a lot of fans forget that these athletes are human beings just like them, but just because of their occupation and just because they're sitting there on their camera or in front of you to entertain you, that you can just treat them any kind of way or talk about them or talk to them any kind of way. And it's not like that. It shouldn't be like that. Like, you kind of need to check yourself, look in the mirror, and understand, like, man, they human just like you are.
I have to call a coach because he messed up your parlay. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
And to threaten his kids, like,
that's crazy.
That it has crossed the line.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
And you really shouldn't be banking on a parlay to change your financial situation. Just work hard and hope that you get some good luck along the way, and let that change your situation.
It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Like, that's but at the end of the day, we're gonna wrap up here in a sec. But sports gambling is supposed to be fun. Give you a little incentive to watch something you may not watch. If you win money, awesome. And some people have made a career, a living, and a hell of a life out of gambling on sports.
Yeah.
But if JB takes his starters out when they're up 10 and it spreads 11 points, that's not what he's thinking about. So to threaten him over your parlay, because that's not, I do think it has crossed some sort of line, and it's ironic, because guess who our biggest sponsor is?
FanDuel.
And I'm not going to pretend it's not.
Yeah.
It's also a sponsor of the NBA. The NFL is partnered with sportsbooks. Vegas. I mean, it's everywhere. So we're going to talk about that today. Let's get to it. 10 minutes, a little UCSS preview show. We'll see you guys in 2.5 hours. Peace.